WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Cash Matlock. Governor Tate Reeves issues a state of emergency to help protect public health. A press release earlier today states that the declaration was issued to further ramp up Mississippi's coordinated response across all levels of government and provide health officials and administrators with the necessary tools and guidance to combat the spread of COVID-19. Reeves says this is our latest step to respond to COVID-19 and it will not be our last. We will continue coordinating our response efforts and prioritizing the health and well-being for all who call Mississippi home, end quote. The governor addressed the state through a video shared on social media. Reeves continues by stating, quote, "I urge all Mississippians to use caution. This is not a time to panic. We are acting calmly and steadily. In this state, we were prepared. We have a pandemic plan that is being followed to the letter. We have tremendous experts who are operating in a way that will protect the public health and save lives. We're listening to those experts and following their lead every step of the way," end quote. Now, in regards to attending church and working from home, the governor had this to say.
We have asked for each of our citizens to do things that may be hard. Stay away from large gatherings. That means sports and even church tomorrow. I'm asking churches not to hold large in-person services in the morning. You can worship from home. Work from home if you can. You have heard the term social distancing. That is one of the most important things that you can do. That's what my family and I are doing. I'll be voluntarily working from home for 14 days out of an abundance of caution and care for others around us.
To watch the governor's full address, head over to our website at WCBI.com. The Columbus School District is closed this coming week, but the closure leaves many students struggling to find a meal. As a result, the district has decided to keep the cafeterias open. Superintendent Dr. Sherry Labatt had this to say about the matter.
We made a detailed and definitive decision to have it at every campus in the district. It will include our 5 elementary schools, our Success Academy, which is Union Academy, Columbus Middle School, and Columbus High School. We will have a combination of grab and go and sit down meals. We will have the social distance procedure and hygiene procedures in effect. It's significant because our 100% of our students are free and reduced lunch. And so when they're not in school, they're not receiving 2 meals a day, Monday through Friday.
So far, Columbus is the only school district that we know of that's keeping their cafeterias open, but we're going to update that list as new information becomes available. In Lowndes County, students are also getting an extended spring break. Superintendent Sam Allison says classes are canceled for the week. While out on spring break, Allison says some students traveled out of the country and to states where cases have been reported. District leaders will spend the next few days gathering information, discussing ways to keep everyone safe and clear from any potential sickness. Well, several other school districts in the viewing area will be closed all of next week. Those schools include Starkville-Oktibbeha School District, Amory Schools, Starkville Academy, Pontotoc Schools, Lee County Schools, Houston Schools, Oxford School District, Tishomingo County School District, Heritage Academy, and Noxubee County School District. Now again, these are just some of the schools that will be closed all of next week. For a complete list, and if you don't happen to see your school listed here, you can go to our website at WCBI.com.
We topped out today in the mid and upper 70s. Right now we are mainly in the 60s, although Oxford, you're down at 57. Rain showers across parts of North Mississippi and Alabama at this time. The steadiest rain from Oxford to New Albany to Boonville, Iuka, Corinth, Ripley. The northern tier of Mississippi seeing the steadiest rain right now. Farther south, some scattered showers moving from west to east across the region, and this band of showers will continue moving down to the south. 40s north tonight, 50s in the south, with scattered showers continuing. And for our Sunday, I wanted to say Friday, but for our Sunday, we are looking at some 50s and 60s, clouds and some passing showers. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Well, there are now more than 2,400 confirmed cases of coronavirus in the U.S. in every state except for West Virginia. In addition, 52 people have died as a result of the virus. Michael George has more from New York, where officials have set up a containment zone to stop the spread of the virus.
Thank you very much. New policies are being implemented at the White House in response to the coronavirus pandemic.
I had my temperature taken coming into the room.
So did we.
You did? Good.
Everybody coming near the president or vice president is getting their temperature checked. The president says he was tested for coronavirus after coming in contact with at least 3 people who have tested positive.
People were asking, did I take the test? I don't know, whatever it takes, a day or 2 days, whatever it is. They send it to a lab.
The House passed a bill early Saturday morning which will make testing free for Americans. It now goes before the Senate for approval.
Leader McConnell and our friends on the Republican side should pass the bill as is.
The Trump administration says it will boost the number of test kits available to the public to 1.4 million over the next week. Drive-through testing locations have been set up in numerous locations across the country, including here in New Rochelle, which has been the epicenter of the outbreak here in New York.
The main way to slow the spread, we know from all the other countries, is to do the testing, isolate the positives.
Health officials are warning the worst is yet to come.
We have not reached our peak.
The Trump administration has also announced it's extending its European travel ban to include the UK and Ireland. And Vice President Pence wouldn't rule out the possibility of a travel ban within the U.S.
We're considering a broad range of measures. But no decisions have been made yet.
Meanwhile, schools and businesses continue to shut their doors as Americans practice social distancing. Apple announced all of its stores outside of China will be closed for 2 weeks. Michael George, CBS News, New Rochelle, New York.
A senior official at the Department of Homeland Security tells CBS News that a domestic travel ban is not in the works at this time. Well, the Northern District Public Service Commissioner is asking the FCC to help students and workers who are impacted by the coronavirus. With a switch to online courses as some colleges close their campus and the possibility of more employees working from home, Brandon Presley is making a 3-pronged request to the commission.
Number one, to eliminate data caps, to stop that as a part of the process for right now, to stop overage fees. So if a customer has to use their phone more than normally they would have to use it because of the stresses that are put on the system by the coronavirus, that they be waived. And thirdly, to stop throttling. So we know that many carriers throttle back the speed of internet service once a customer meets a certain threshold. Those 3 things need to be eliminated and need to be eliminated today.
AT&T has agreed to waive data caps for home internet customers. However, that does not apply to mobile data caps. Comcast is increasing speeds of its internet service and allowing for 60 days of free service for those who qualify. So far, there are no cases of coronavirus in the Golden Triangle, but Columbus is feeling its effects. Visit Columbus cancels the 2020 Columbus, Mississippi Spring Pilgrimage. The Columbus Lowndes Convention and Visitors Bureau called the move necessary, citing concerns about the spread of the virus. Any events scheduled during the 2 weeks of pilgrimage, including what would have been the 30th installment of Tales from the Crypt, are also canceled. Pilgrimage was scheduled to run from March 26th through April 4th. A few more important closings of note. All Columbus Recreation Department practices, games, and activities have been suspended until April 1st. Director Greg Lewis says the department is exercising caution. All senior or adult activities have also been suspended. Lewis says private events already booked at the community centers will continue as scheduled. Also, Starkville Park's programs are canceled until the 22nd. This includes all youth baseball and adult basketball practices, as well as senior programs that meet in the activities room, such as line dancing. Passengers continue to travel through the Golden Triangle Regional Airport. The Delta flights arrive 3 times each day at GTR. There's also morning, afternoon, and early evening departures. The staff at the airport is monitoring the CDC for updates and continue to do their own jobs, which include sanitizing public areas.
The safety of our passengers and our employees is our top priority. We've increased the frequency of cleaning, the disinfecting, and we've added 20 different hand sanitizers that people can reach from anywhere in the airport. So, and we're keeping on top of the latest activities. The biggest thing is we're following the CDC guidelines.
All travelers are asked to monitor their health and practice good hygiene, including covering the face and mouth if coughing or sneezing, and frequent hand washing. Well, COVID-19 didn't stop the Friends of Dean Park from putting in some volunteer hours today. We've got the full story coming up. Stay with us.
Watching WCBI News at 10 p.m. with Cash Matlock.
Welcome back, everyone. People in Winston County are keeping their little corner of the world beautiful. They spent the day getting a popular park ready for summer. WCBI's Tyler Hull stopped by and has more on the story.
With warmer weather approaching, Dean Park in Winston County will soon have some visitors looking for some outdoor fun. And these volunteers are making sure it's in tip-top shape. Members of the Buffalo Soldiers Motorcycle Club were among the many who showed up to help give the park some TLC.
And this is our community service that kind of help clean up, spruce up, keep the park beautified and things of that nature, and also have a little fellowship with our community.
Elmitra Patterson is a member of the Friends of Dean Park organization.
We plant, we fertilize, we weed all the different gardens, and then we plant our vegetable gardens and we plant our seeds.
Patterson said this annual beautification project shows the pride that they have in their community.
We also rake the pine cones down by the pond. So that's what it's all about. We want to have a Friends of Dean Park organized so that we could beautify this park and maintain it and keeping it beautiful for the children and the community.
The group also got support from local businesses with donations of seeds and other supplies. In Winston County, Tyler Hull, WCBI News.
The cleaning of the park took place today from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m.
60s in many spots for our Sunday, and then we'll see some lower 70s to mid 70s early next week. A daily chance for showers and storms into next week. We'll have that full 7-day forecast after the break.
For WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
It is still technically winter, but spring has been blossoming for the last several weeks, and this is how it looked earlier today. Look at all that color there, and we will see more color, more blossoms, more everything as temperatures get warmer and warmer. And we need the rain and the heat to really green things up. And we have the rain right now from Holly Springs to Boonville here right along the Tennessee state line. You can see the showers here across North Mississippi. Additional showers possible farther south as well. We have a little bit of light activity. We are in the 50s in the north, 60s in the south right now. So we have an area of low pressure, a frontal boundary in the region, and all of this will give rise to a wet night and a wet start to our Sunday. So that's the way it's looking for the next 24 hours. Our time lapse from Tupelo tonight, our Alpha Insurance camera. You can see the clouds moving on through this afternoon. Tonight, 50s in the south. For you in the north, we are looking at temperatures in the 40s. Areas of showers. It looks like there won't be any thunder and definitely no strong activity here tonight. But we may get down to 48, 49, 47 there in Corinth and New Albany, 52 in Tupelo, 62 perhaps in the far south tonight. For your Sunday, areas of rain here, Columbus 65, Louisville 65, Winona maybe only 61. Cooler in Oxford at 56, 59 in Boonville, 61 in Fulton and Tupelo tomorrow. Winds from the north at about 5 to 15. Today we had southerly winds. Tomorrow northerly winds across the board, including West Alabama. So it will be a little bit cooler. We've been going up and down with this frontal boundary in place, and that is keeping the rain chances in place too. So a pretty good chance of rain tonight into tomorrow morning. We may see things settle down a little bit in the afternoon. Low end chance for some rain here, relatively speaking, here as we get into the early part of the work week, and then we'll have temperatures getting back, or the rain chances going on up a little bit later in the week. So let's show you that with our forecast here. The front moves back down to the south, and the rain will continue in the region tonight into tomorrow. We'll hope that that will shrink in size and scope as we get into the afternoon, but as we roll on into your Monday, additional clouds and some shower and thunderstorm chances here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You know the drill here. That's the way it's looking. And really between now and next weekend, we may see anywhere from an inch to perhaps 4 inches of rain. The good news here, it won't come at any it won't come all at once. That's what I'm trying to say. But we will have those rain chances around here. So the good thing, I should also mention too, another good thing is that of all of those rain opportunities there, it doesn't really look like we're going to have a lot of strong or severe thunderstorm activity. If we do have anything like that, it would probably tend to be on Friday, but still kind of iffy right now. And this is March, a big severe weather season typically, and right now we don't have that coming, and that's always a blessing, even though it looks like it will be kind of wet.
You know what, Keith, I'm going to be positive. You said it's going to feel like spring, so it might not look like it, but it'll feel like it.
Hey, at least we're not having to go out in our winter coats and deal with all that.
Very true, very true. Well, thank you for that. A routine stop for one Indiana officer turns out to be something totally out of the ordinary. We're going to have more on this after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. A central Indiana police officer went beyond the call of duty while responding to a complaint of a suspicious man. It was all caught on his dash cam. Reporter Lindsay Eaton shows us how a couple strangers and a burger made for our special story.
What awaits police officers on the other end of a call is unpredictable, and on Monday afternoon, a run turned into a reminder.
It could be anything, and fortunately, it was just a guy in need of some help.
Lieutenant Randy Rogers with Mooresville PD went to check on a report of a man on the side of the road. When he showed up, the man was up and walking. Lieutenant Rogers still turned around and stopped.
Ran his information to make sure he wasn't a wanted person or anything like that.
Once that was taken care of, Lieutenant Rogers learned more than just his name. Brian lost his home and was heading to Florida to see his family.
He just was very down on his luck. I think it come to the point where he just felt like he had nothing to lose by doing what he was doing.
Lieutenant Rogers asked Brian what route he was taking for his long walk and when was the last time he had a meal. It was then, you can see from the dash cam video, the two took their conversation to the patrol car.
I asked him, I said, how would you feel if I treated you to a big sandwich and a drink? And he said, I would love that.
Knuckle sandwich was the place, a double cheeseburger and a Coke was the order. Lieutenant Rogers paid the discounted bill with his own money, and then he had to get back to work.
I'm glad I helped him, and I'm glad he's appreciative.
Showing compassion. It's part of the advice a veteran officer gave Lieutenant Rogers at the start of his career. And now, 22 years later, he's still taking those words to heart.
He told me that if you take care of the people in Mooresville, Mooresville will take care of you, and here we are.
In Mooresville, Lindsay Eaton, CBS 4 News.
Well, getting students to read more can sometimes be a challenge. Coming up, we'll tell you all about one elementary school principal who finds creative ways to solve the issue. Stay tuned. Well, schools often try to find fun ways to encourage learning. Woodland Elementary in Elkhart, Indiana found just that way. Take a look.
Each page, the buzzing getting louder. Students chanting. What was a nicely grown beard.
Be kind, Madison, be kind. Don't do it.
The students who read the most earned a chance to shave him.
Now I know who to give detention.
Fifth grader Shane Lears leading the way with nearly 130 hours.
I wanted to shave his beard.
But Lears loves to read in general.
Like to get my brain going, helping me get my grades up.
Madison Quintos logged roughly 70 hours.
I really just want to read, but since that's also what the prize is, well, that's just like a bonus.
One by one taking their turn.
She is much more gentle than the other ones. Thank you.
Watching as the hair hits the floor.
There's a lot of gray hair in that beard.
And seeing the transformation.
In the beginning I was excited, and then the end I was guilty.
Guilty?
Yes.
Why do you feel guilty?
Because it looks different seeing Mr. Levan with no beard.
Entrusting students with a razor had Levan a little nervous. The occasional tug didn't help, but he says it's worth it.
As the more kids are in books, the more that they're learning, the more they're having fun, they're exercising their brain, they're growing. And so if this is something I can do to motivate our kids to excel higher, this is such a small thing from me.
With the pages all read and the shave complete.
Honestly, my face feels really cold. And I'm kind of curious to see how things look.
So of course, we had to show them.
Oh, wow. That looks greatly different.
Levan says he fully expects to continue this tradition next year, whether it's his beard or someone else. He says whatever it takes to get the kids to read, they're going to do it. Well, coming up, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Keith is going to have a final look at weather. Stay with us. Well, if your Saturday includes movie night on the couch, you can skip the popcorn and instead grab a bag of chips because it's National Potato Chip Day and there are literally hundreds of flavors to choose from. You can get, or different types. Rather, you can get thin, crispy, or Keith's favorite, which is kettle cooked, right?
Yes, the kettle chips. So I had to think about what it was. Yeah,
Right.
Kettle chips are great.
Yes, those are my favorite too. And these are popular in America, obviously, but actually across the globe, chip revenue sales have gone up about $15,000 every year.
I remember growing up, and I think they were Lay's or J's or something, but they were these really hot chips that were basically red, solid red, and you would eat a whole bag. Your fingers would be red, and your mouth would be burning because it was so intense.
I'm salivating just thinking about it. Love anything hot. That's really good.
There you go.
All right, well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow.